Hey guys, I got an old double barrel shotgun here I picked up at a Las Vegas gun show last week. Got a really good deal on it, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. But it's a Rossi 12 gauge double barrel outside hammers. Actually pretty cool gun. Only paid $100 for this, and the reason for that is because there's a lot of rust on the barrel. Now the good news is there's no rust on the receiver, and there's no rust inside the barrels either. It's just on the outside. I've got an easy way I take this rust, something I've been doing for about 25 years, a little secret I learned out of an old gunsmithing book, and it works pretty good. It's gonna take the rust off, but it's not gonna scratch the barrels, and it's not gonna remove any bluing. So let's see if we can get a close-up look here. And there's a pretty good spot right there. Now I'm actually going to probably spend about 3 hours on this gun getting the rust off of it. I mean, there's other things I'd rather be doing for 3 hours than taking rust off of this. For instance, yeah, but you know what? For $100, yeah, I would gladly spend 3 hours on this. So let's get to the shop. I'll show you how to take this rust off, and then maybe if we got time, we'll put a few rounds through it and just have a little fun. So let's get on over to the shop. Okay, before we get started, a couple things you're going to need. Of course, you need your rusty gun. You're going to need some light oil. I like this 3-in-1. You're going to need a soft brush. I got this one at Home Depot in the welding section. It's got some very soft bristles on it. You don't want anything too hard. You're going to want some paper towels, and the most important thing is you're going to need a copper penny. Now make sure your penny was made before 1982. Now why 1982? Because in 82 we switched to making pennies out of zinc, copper plated zinc pennies. So just make sure your penny is made before 1982. So why do you want a copper penny? Well, because copper is fairly soft compared to steel, and it's not going to scratch the metal. Okay, so really all we're going to do is put a little oil on the gun, like so. Take your penny and just start rubbing. I'll show you something here in a second. Grab your paper towel, and look at that. It really does a good job of taking the rust off. Now, I'll go over this same area probably 2 or 3 times. Just make sure you use plenty of oil. And you can feel how rough that is when you're rubbing that penny. Does a really good job, like I said. And of course you have damage to the metal here, so you're not going to have much bluing, but it's going to take some pretty good rubbing to get all of this off of here. But I'll tell you what, it works better than steel wool. I've used steel wool, but you know, it's kind of messy and kind of falls apart and gets all over the place. I really like this penny system though. Now if you got an area like down here between the barrel and the rib, go and get some oil on that, and grab your brush. Just move that ugly thing, and don't do it very hard. It doesn't take much pressure to get that rust off. Now if the rust is in there real deep and it's pitted pretty good, yeah, you might have to scrub a little harder, but it really takes a lot of that rust off real quick. And I'll use this brush on the top of the rib here. But you can see in just a matter of just a couple of minutes, I've taken a lot of rust off. And that penny will actually smooth up those pits a little bit. But yeah, that's on there pretty heavy. So anyways, that's all you got to do. Use a penny, some oil, and just rub it right off of there. Now I'm going to have three options when I get done. I can leave the gun just the way it is and give it a little character, or I can go ahead and take all the blue off the barrel and the receiver and polish everything up and re-blue it, which I don't want to do. Or my third option, I can take all the blue off, again the barrel and the receiver, and I can brown everything. Now that's a kit where you heat up the metal and you put a chemical on the metal and it turns it brown. It actually puts a coat of rust on it, and once you wipe off the rust, everything is got a nice brown patina to it, so it looks like it's an antique gun. So again, that's all you got to do, guys. That will work really good. Let's see here. You know, that's really smoothed it up quite a bit, but like I said, it's going to take some pretty good rubbing to get most of that out. Alright, well, I'm going to spend the next couple hours getting this cleaned up, and then, like I said, hopefully we can take it out and put a few rounds through it. Well, I got all the rust off the shotgun. Now, it didn't take me quite 3 hours. It took me, probably just a little more than an hour to get all of it off, but as you can see, no rust on it. Actually, it's nice and smooth now. And like I said, I just might brown this barrel someday, and receiver, of course. But that's all there is to it. Just remember, make sure you use oil, and don't push too hard on that penny because you can leave light scratches in the metal. So with that said, let's load this up and do some shooting. Well guys, thanks for watching my video, and we'll see you next time.